What if some desires aren't wishes at all? What if they are messages from your future reality? And what if the biggest mistake we make is believing the evidence that is right in front of us? Because for a little over 20 years of my life, my reality gave me every reason for me to quit. And there was absolutely no evidence that my dream would ever come true. My name is Akhila, and I welcome you to Between the Symbols. Before we discuss manifestation, transformation, or any philosophy, I would like to begin by sharing with you my personal story. When I was about 12 years old, I felt this deep desire in me that I couldn't put it in words. A burning desire where I wanted to explore life beyond the country that I was born in. I wanted to travel, study abroad, live life in different cultures, in different ways of living. And there was actually no logical reason for me to have that desire. But there was this deep calling in me. In order to realize that, I certainly explored different paths. The US in 2002 for my high school education. New Zealand in 2004 to pursue my bachelor's. The United Kingdom in 2007 for my master's degree. Each time, I strongly believed that I was opening the right door. And each time, something happened. Money was an obstacle, people who meant to support me fell out, opportunities just disappeared, or they fell apart, the doors just closed. After enough disappointments, I started to believe whatever my reality was showing me or telling me, that this dream is just a fantasy. I'm being foolish. I need to be serious in my life and, stop chasing this desire and move on. Or it was telling me that this dream was not meant for me. So, life continued. I built a career for myself. I got married. My responsibilities increased. The years passed. Things changed around me. But one thing that did not change was my dream. The desire kind of never left me. It was always there in the background, silent. It was not obsessive. It was not loud. It was just there, waiting patiently for me to tap into it and to explore it. In 2015, I thought, okay, why don't I give it another shot? So this time, instead of education, I decided to immigrate to Australia. Everything was perfect, everything was planned, ready, and it was almost there. Guess what happened? They removed my occupation from the skill shortage list. And just like that, I became ineligible to immigrate to Australia. You wouldn't believe, I was super devastated, disappointed, wasted my money. And this time I really told myself that, hey, Akhila, enough is enough. This is not meant for you. And this is not going to work for you. Just focus on what is right in front of you. But if you have ever had a genuine desire or a genuine calling, you know something about it. This genuine desire doesn't just fade away. It stays. It appears even when life gets busy, even when life is inconvenient, and when you have a lot of things to do, it just doesn't disappear, but it patiently waits. So, in 2021, I was in this tarot class. It's the first class, and we were introducing each other. I had one of my friends now who was introducing herself and her company, and she told that they help mature students to immigrate abroad and to study abroad. It was just information for other people, but it was very important for me. Something in me stirred, and it was like a switch was flipped on, the light went on in me. The old desire came back alive. And this time I told myself that let me just follow the calling. So in 2022, I decided to move to Canada. I left behind a high paying job, my comfort, my routines, my home. And in fact, I even had to leave my son behind temporarily. Now he's with me, but I had to leave him behind and then move to Canada. It was a big leap of faith into the unknown and just by blindly following a calling. But I must say, this is one of the most rewarding decisions that I've ever taken in my life. When I later discovered one of my favorite books on manifestation called Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland, many parts of my journey began to make sense. Not because the book predicted my future, but it actually gave the language to my experience. And that's exactly what I want to do for you here by giving you 5 lessons so that you can add meaning to your experiences and accomplish your truest desires or manifest your truest desires. So here we go with lesson 1. Pay attention to what keeps returning. Most fantasies fade away, most impulses disappear, but true desires come back to us for years. Such desires are the ones that you need to pay close attention to. So, the question I want you to ask yourself is, what desire keeps finding its way back into your life? Not what sounds practical, not what others want for you. But this is a desire that keeps returning or recurring, and this desire could actually be pointing you towards your true north. Lesson 2. Don't use your current reality as proof. This is where many people with shallow minds, including me for a large period of time, give up. Because we look for our circumstances and we conclude, no money, no opportunity, no support, oh, the desire is impossible. But I want you to remember that current reality is just telling you what is in front of you, where you are in your journey. It is not an indication of where you are going. For 20 years, I had no indication, no evidence, no reality to be seen of me being here in Canada, living my desire fully manifested. So if I had used evidence alone, then I would have given up on my desire long time ago. So the lesson is, the absence of evidence is not evidence that your desire is a fantasy. Lesson 3. Stay committed to the essence, not the form. For several years, I thought the countries were my dream, or the country represented my desire. It was not Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or any of these which was actually my essence, my true desire. Right? It was just a path for me to reach my desire, which is freedom, expansion, and living life in my own terms. So many times we get attached to one form, and when we are attached to one specific path, you may miss the door altogether to your true desire. For example, if I had fixated myself only on Australia and I told myself that that's the path to my door, then technically I would have never gotten to that door, because the actual path that opened for me was Canada and not Australia. I hope that makes sense to you when I say stay committed to the essence and not the form. Lesson 4. Take the next few steps, not all steps together. One thing I have clearly understood and realized reading Reality Transurfing and applying it to my life is you cannot force reality. You can create the reality you want only through movement, and what I mean by movement is by taking actions. And when we say taking actions, it is to take action step by step, one after the other. We need not know the entire path. It gets super overwhelming to even get to the desire if we want to know all the steps of the path. So it's just one action after the other. I came to Canada not by booking my ticket first. There were a lot of steps that I took. So go ahead, take your first step, followed by the next. That one application, one conversation, one decision, one phone call, anything, but one at a time, one by one. Many people wait for certainty to take action, but it's actually the other way around. You need to take action to see certainty, not before. So that's lesson 4. Lesson 5. Don't confuse delay for denial. As I look back upon my journey, I can definitely say that my reality never told me no. It just told me not yet. There is a difference between these two, for sure. So let's honor and respect the timing it takes for the reality to appear. Maybe we need that time to prepare ourselves to be ready for that new reality, the new version of our life. So, delay is not equal to denial. If there is one thing I hope you would take away from this video, it is this. Please be careful about the conclusions you draw by looking at your current reality, because what you see today may only be a small frame of a much larger picture or a much larger story. In my journey, there were many symbols in the form of delays, rejections, disappointments, lack of evidence, lack of support. Between these symbols, there was a message, which I heard. It was gentle and it whispered and it kept coming back to me, and it asked me to keep following my desire, which I did, and therefore I am in the reality that I am in. And I hope you take some lessons from my own journey and apply it in your life and accomplish the reality that you want. If this message resonated with you, I would love for you to like the video, add your comments, and please subscribe to the channel if you have already not done so. And if you are navigating your own journey of transformation, personal growth, manifestation, or intuition, I invite you to return to this channel for future conversations. Until next time, keep looking between the symbols. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you a great day and take care. Bye.